make sure that we allow ourselves to be grounded in our vision. And so we recite it together, family. We are a loving and compassionate, world-class teaching and empowerment ministry. Through a consciousness of universal God presence, we release all resistance, separation, and fear. We claim our personal liberation and accept the eternal availability of joy, love, and abundance. Through our intention to be love and spread joy, we engender reflections of the same and more in others. Our ministry is a gift to the world, which expands through our practice and dedication. We welcome all people, and together we make a quantifiable, positive difference on the planet. And so it is. And so, family, I just invite you to find your breath. Allow yourself to come fully present into this moment, releasing anything that happened up until now and leaving it where it belongs in the past. Giving no concern to what has to happen after this time, simply being here, fully present now. Breathing, touching and agreeing, remembering to remember that there is only one life, and that life is God's life, and that life is perfect, whole, and complete in nature and in form. It is my life. It is the life of every person here participating in this service. It is the life of every person on the planet. God is, and we are, born in, through, and as this perfect, divine source. We are one. It is without exception. It is regardless of appearances. The same force that kept us while we slept and woke us this morning rotates the earth around the sun. It brings the ocean to the shore. Our skin is made of stardust. We are one with the perfection of God. My faith in this knowing is unwavering. I rest, rule, and abide in it. I trust it without exception. And so it is from this place of knowing, this place of trusting, this place of deep abiding faith that I speak my word on behalf of my beloved Heart and Soul Center of Light community, giving thanks in advance for our deepest heart's desires being made manifest. That we have the opportunity to experience the perfection of the love that we are. That we know love, that we see love, that we accept love, that we allow love, that we spread love freely, openly, abundantly. And I know that we know health and wellness divinely, perfectly, that we are strong and flexible, that we know the goodness of the infinite coursing through our veins. I know, family, that each and every one of us has the opportunity to see the goodness of the infinite here and now, to know it as our lives, as our breath, as our beingness, as our allness. And I accept it for who we are, as who we are. I know it to be so. And so I give thanks. I give thanks for the opportunity to speak this word. I give thanks for Heart and Soul Center of Light and all that it endeavors to be on the planet. I give thanks for the space that it allows us to be our most confident, powerful, vulnerable, unapologetically loving selves. I give thanks for the hearts and the hands that support this ministry, those who pray without ceasing, those who are managing our business affairs, our musical inspiration, our beloved Reverend Andriette. I am grateful for the good sense to be grateful this morning, family. And so it is in perfect gratitude that I simply release this word into the law. I know that it is done, not only because I speak this word, but because it is written on our hearts. And so we simply allow it to be so now and forevermore. And so it is.
all I want is peace. Those who come for pay the price, come home with the least. Nation after nation, turning into peace. Oh, and will there be a harvest for the world?
That's Solas-Lalgee. Daria Johnson on percussion and Tammy Hall on piano, giving us the Isley Brothers this morning with an important question: when will there be a harvest for the world? And this morning I'm just getting that literally in this moment, the significance of that question, not just when will there be a harvest, because the harvest is forever present, but when will we perceive the harvest as being for the world, not being just for those who gather everyone all together, is what the Isley brothers wrote. Overlooking none, hoping life gets better for the world. When will there be a harvest for the world? That's on our watch. So the question goes really to our heart. When will we be so uncomfortable with the perception that there's not enough? When will we be so uncomfortable with others not having? When will we refuse to drive through another homeless encampment that has just seemed to pop up? When will we be so uncomfortable that we will demand, that we will require, that we will create and ensure a harvest for the world? Thank you, Isley brothers. Thank you. The interesting thing about truth teaching and lyrics likewise is they last a lifetime. And I guess the good thing about that is also the sad thing, that we would still be singing a song and wondering, when will there be the harvest? There's something about, now, even having said that, I wouldn't want anyone to mistakenly get a sense that I am blaming or chastising in any way, because I'm not. I'm always, although this is not in any way, shape, or form a mountaintop teaching, not at all. I am forever hollering out of the valley. Y'all look out, the bridge is out. Do not come this way. And what I want you to know is that there really is that we can do to heal our souls, to shift our sense of what time it is and what is ours to do. And very simply, forgiveness is the answer. And I know I can already hear, that again, yeah, that. Forgiveness is the answer to letting go of what? We all have it, resentment, as well as letting go of, yes, the hurts from the past. I think the Isley brothers sang about that, in fact, that there's some holding to that. But it keeps us from the harvest. It keeps us from even sensing that there is. It interferes with our ability to claim what is ours. When we're sitting in our resentment, when we're sitting in our hurts from the past and believing that they are present even now. Such that what I've come today to tell you is that self-forgiveness is the answer to letting go of guilt and blame and doubt and fear. It's freeing ourselves from the encumbrance of less than-ness, the unworthiness of the harvest that already exists. And when we feel small and needy, we're not likely to share with others. So our awareness of miracles being in the environment, in our summer school, we're on a shortcut to a miracle. And we are working it out for real. But here's the thing, for anyone who does not feel deserving, for anyone who is feeling less than, who feels left out, you're not inclined to claim the harvest nor the miracle. They're one and the same. And forgiveness is making way for the miracle. See, if there was another way, I assure you I wouldn't be bringing you this now. If there were another way other than forgiveness, I'd be all about it. Because I'm not pretending that forgiveness is easy. The only reason it comes up is it applies to those of us who were not willing to let go from some natural inclination. We must be coaxed and encouraged, if not arm twisted into forgiving. So the question is always, are you ready? Are you ready to be open to the harvest? Are you ready to be open to the miracles that abound? Look at here, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. did his best to shine the light on truth for us. He offers us that forgiveness is not an occasional act. Darn, huh? Because we kind of want to use forgiveness like a Mr. Clean sponge or something. We want to wait once it gets really funky. We want to run in with some forgiveness and spray it around a little bit and get where we can finally breathe in the space and it looks like it's kind of clean and it's safe to be around it. That's the moment when we want to pop out the forgiveness and use it. But Dr. King reminds us that it is a constant attitude. Forgiveness, in fact, is a key part of a miracle-making attitude. There's no way to have miracles while you are all congested and congealed with resentment and focus on the past and the pain. You see, our miracle-making attitude is actually the beginning of the miracle itself. See, it's keeping the order straight. We want to have the miracle and then I'm going to forgive. See, once I have everything I want, that's when I'll be generous. Once it's all pouring out, once the harvest is just so much, that's when I'll share. That's not what the record reflects, though. The record reflects that for every time we declare that, in truth, what actually happens is if we were stingy with a little, we're going to be stingy with a lot. And the reason that is because we have a consciousness of lack. If you don't think there's enough, the fact that your bucket is overflowing with good does not change your mind, because it was never about the amount. It was about your consciousness and your sense that you did not have enough, that there was not enough. When will you perceive that there is enough for you and everybody else? When is that moment? When will we realize that, as Ernest Holmes says, that everything moves in circles, that there is divine order and divine motion always and in all ways? Ernest Holmes reminds us that this is the way of life. And what we refuse to give, we are simultaneously at the same time refusing to accept it. I get that it's counterintuitive. We feel like we can hold it away from others and then have it. And because we believe that, we think we see that proven in the world, and we want to lift it up as an example that what we aspire to. But in truth, once we get past the illusion, once we stop living from effect, and we have a better, clearer understanding of causation, we see how we're in this. Our fingerprints are on everything, absolutely everything. How the world is unfolding, the unsafety of the children and the elders, all has our fingerprints on it. It's on our watch. The way of life, Ernest Holmes says, is that what we refuse to give, we refuse to accept. There's a part of me that just wants to leave us steeping in that for a moment. Just like pause. And in the silence, be willing to think of how that shows up in your life. Where is the evidence of that truth? Trust me when I tell you, there's proof of that in your life. It's impossible for there not to be. Absolutely impossible. That what we refuse to give, we cannot accept. Nothing is more important than that we learn how to forgive both ourselves and others. And I want to say to y'all in that order. Here's the thing. On some level, we's a bit dangerous. in our unforgiveness. The world is not safe with us running around with our hearts closed and our minds closed. We are dangerous. You know, I'm not the one to refer y'all to Facebook, but I might just have to. For anybody who doesn't get it, y'all just need to look at some of the stuff that's happening just with, it's unfathomable that as some individuals are either obeying the law or obeying guidance to wear a mask, that others would be on the attack, that others would not just take personal issue, because you know what? I just have to say, in everybody's head, you will not bring y'all into this, certainly in my mind, Tammy. I often am taking issue with whatever it is, the speed limit, where you can park and how much you have to pay to park. I take issue with all of that. But nobody knows it because I have good sense enough to not be out in people's faces trying to tell them about my opinion about how the thing is. It's important that we learn how to forgive ourselves and others. We are dangerous running around in the world acting like we're right, acting like there's no other way other than whatever has just recently occurred to us, that there's no other possibility for this. I mean, I just don't know how we got this old, whatever age so-and-so was when they showed up on the video. I just don't know how they got so old, believing that their idea was the only one, and that it ought to be the one that everybody else stepped to. Y'all understand step two. Forgiveness. Forgiving selves. I often talk about the importance of us getting self-love. That we're dangerous out in the world trying to love on others, and that's your first time loving? You haven't loved you at all. Not in your little mirror work, not in your affirmations, not in your prayer. And I want you to know you are dangerous out in the world, unable to love you, but wanting us to believe you loving everybody else. I'm just saying that it's not possible. You see, until we let go of our, not just our pain and our sense of pain in the past, but our attachment. You see, that's what, our read for this year is A Year of Miracles by Marianne Williamson. And today is day 222. Just chew on that for a minute. That we are that far into this year. So if you have some goals for this year, you best step up. Pick up the pace. Because there's not that much time for those of us who are praying about a world that works for everyone. We're going to have to do something different. We're going to have to step up our game around inclusion and acceptance and love and forgiveness. So Marianne Williamson offers us for the 222nd day of the year that I let go my attachment of the pain of my past. I'm going to ask you to say it. I think it's up on the screen for you now. I'm going to ask you to say it with me. I let go my attachment to the pain of my past. She goes on to say that often it's said, and I love this, that we can either be bitter or we can be better. And unfortunately, that reminds me of this notion born of A Course in Miracles. Would you rather be right or would you rather be happy? Now, I know some of y'all scratching your head like, happy or right? And there's a point at which right looks like it would be the thing to be. But take it from one who knows Don't ask me how I know. Take it from one who knows. You'd rather be happy than right. No matter how seductive right is, you'd rather be happy. And you'd rather be better than bitter. Now, what that is calling us to is a transformation. Better is always indicative of a shift from however you are. So I'm not accusing you of not being good. I'm saying better. Rather than being bitter about the past, about what she did and she said and he didn't say. We could affirm, each and every one of us, today I choose not to be better, not to be bitter, not to be bitter. Why? Because my bitterness will create more reasons to be bitter. Y'all may not understand that, but when you start paying attention to what is causal in your life, I'm going to ask you to trust me, because I've been doing the work. I'm not pretending I'm doing more work than you. I just happen to be doing it on mic. So in doing the work, what I have found is that I do, that I engage in, opens me to do more of that. So it took me a long time to get that. But as a result, I now will choose to not do certain things, to not engage in certain things, or better yet, because I see some of y'all looking like, really, Andrea, when did that start? It would be that when I catch myself in the act of it, I realize that this will only lead to more of this. Okay, y'all acting like you don't understand. Like eating sugar. Oh, now I'm with my tribe. So that first bite of sugar, you know what it's like. I'm just going to have I'm not even going to eat the whole cookie. I'm just going to have a piece of it. But what that bit of sugar in the system is, that piece of sugar, that piece of cookie tastes like more cookie. That's what it tastes like. It tastes like more cookie and a slice of cake. And a pinch off the pie. Because the idea here is that as we enter into it, we're in it. That's exactly what it is. As we enter into it, we find ourselves in it. In whatever it is, in telling the lie, in not including, in eating what doesn't serve us, in drinking what doesn't serve us, it all has a taste of some more. That tastes like a little more to me. This feels like a little more of this, and it's not even at a conscious level, which is why somebody could eat a pie and be surprised the pie is gone. Why you could have a history of excluding certain people who look like that or sound like that or seem a certain way and not even realize it. There's something that's in the environment right now that is like a magnifying glass that is showing us a lot of our old wounds in a new light. So that some of us, if we're willing to stay aware and awake, we are discerning how that wound got to be there. We're looking at the patterns in our lives, and we're beginning to see the order in our personal universe, that nothing just like happened to us, and we awakened one morning out of the divine flow. That we've worked hard often to get to where we are. Hard at being exclusive. Hard at being non-inclusive. Hard at finding out who is wrong. Hard at seeing that about them. The speck in my brother's eye. Oh, I can see that from way across the way. And the boulder in my own escapes my awareness somehow. Ernest Holmes talks about clinging to old hurts and some of the reasons we might do that. But here's the thing. It's the awareness that each and every one of us is choosing between having a grievance or having a miracle. They're different vibrations. You see, I can either go for all that's wrong. I can become the expert on why it's not working. What's out of order? I'm saying this is for such a time as this. It doesn't have to be about the color of a house. It doesn't have to be about occupants therein. If our lives are filled with grievance, it's a different vibration than the vibration of miracles. Ernest Holmes says you cannot have both. While you are complaining and pointing the finger, just know you are excluding yourself from the harvest. Because look at what you're planting. You're excluding yourself not from every harvest, because the seeds you're planting in grievance and complaint and gossip, etc., that's going to have a harvest, but you're going to wonder, why do I have this? And it's because we focused our attention and our energy on something other than the desired outcome. This is where we shift our focus in a way that we ensure that we stay focused on what it is that is the desired outcome. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. very clearly offers us that we must develop and maintain the capacity to forgive. We must develop the capacity to forgive. I'm just pausing because somebody needs to think about what that requires of them. And once you develop that capacity, he says you got to maintain that. Because otherwise, to be devoid of the power to forgive is likewise to be devoid of the power to love. I told you, if you don't have a forgiving energy and a loving energy, you're dangerous. I'm wanting you to have that tattooed. I do not forgive, I do not love. So that we can just go, "Ooh, I see you coming." As we scoot ourselves to the side and out of the way. Y'all remember from Peanuts, the comic strip, Pigpen? You'd see Pigpen coming in the comic strip with just stuff springing off of. I'm thinking that it's that sense of it. That our non-forgiveness and our unloving and our absence of compassion and authentic caring. See, there's some good in the worst of us, Dr. King reminds us. And there's some evil in the best of us. And I'm not going to try to even define that for you. I'm just going to say there's those places where we're out of order. There's that aspect of our being that when we're not on point, when we're not conscious and intentional, that we can be so out of order. When we discover this, Dr. King offers us, we are less prone to hate our enemies. Why? Because we get that we are our own enemy. That we are causing what we consider the greatest problems in the universe. The children are hungry not because there isn't enough food, but because we have not found a way to get the food to them. We have found a way to destroy it. Where we going to dump it? How we going to get rid of it? We're going to store it in silos. We have figured that out. But we have not figured out how it is we will just ensure that everyone has their basic needs met. Who are we? Can you imagine if I arrive from another planet and I'm like, when will we see the harvest? Oh, I like what y'all are doing. And in I come, and then I find out y'all let the children go hungry, and you leave the elders unprotected. I'm like, who are y'all? Y'all singing all the right songs? Rapping all the right raps? So spoken word is on point. Y'all got your affirmations on your apps. Y'all are doing it. And the children are hungry? And the elders are not being looked after? Who are you people? It's like a twilight zone. We ought to do one, heart and soul. Just because sometimes folks pretend like their imaginations can't follow. I don't know what you mean, Rev. We ought to pull something together, Reverend Jack. So we create a Martha and the Vandellas moment. Yeah, leave them nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. So that we have in our face a good sense of who we've become. Because, see, we're like frogs. We just been in the water, and all we know is wet. But the temperature has been turned up. And the bar has been thrown so far. There was a bar of integrity, a bar of humanity, a sense of how we'd be, and we just kind of trusted that everybody's going to kind of follow the rules, but we're now find ourselves in a circumstance where all bets seem off. But I've come today to tell you trained thought is far more powerful than untrained thought. So this is just any old kind of way is the untrained thought. So what I'm counting on us to do is to focus our attention. Use those lyrics, use those affirmations, gain the focused attention that is required to move the needle in the direction that we need it moved. There's something required of all of us. And here's the thing. Whatever you think of it, whatever you think it is that's required of you, there's more. There's more. As long as each and every one of us is drawing a breath, that's evidence that there's more required of us. The universe is elegant in its creation and in its order. If you're here for something. Yes, even you. And it's something more than you're up to. What you're up to. I'm not questioning that. I'm not judging it. I'm just saying unless you're drawing your last breath doing that now. If you have another breath tomorrow, it means more is required of you. And if you still here next week, it means more is required of you. And that you are here to meet that requirement. Trained thought is far more powerful than untrained thought. So a huge part of what Heart and Soul is always up to is training ourselves to think in ways that yield the kind of outcome, because we know this is a mental universe. And so we're training ourselves to think, speak, and act in ways that are in alignment with, consistent with the kinds of outcomes, the kinds of harvests, the kinds of miracles that we are counting on being manifest in this world, a world that some of us believe can work for everyone. We've never seen it, so we're just imagining. We are simply giving voice to a vision of a world that works for everyone. The Science of Mind magazine is a monthly issue. I know it's available online and by subscription as well. I have a monthly column in it, and from the inside out. And the scripture that I mention, that I feature at the top of my column, is the one from Malachi 2:10 that you saw at the beginning of the service. And an interesting thing is that our dear sister, my dear friend and sister, Tracy Brown, practitioner out of the Dallas Center for Spiritual Living, has written the daily guide. So it means that every day in the August Science of Mind magazine, Tracy Brown's daily affirmation and narrative is there. And so I want to share with you what she has written for today. It's interesting to me because she used that same Malachi 2 and 10 as her opener, as the scripture that she offered. But she says this to us. She says, pandemics, police brutality, protest. These are real conditions in our world. Where is the spiritual truth in these activities? Homelessness, poverty, discrimination. These too are real conditions in our world. Where is the spiritual truth in these circumstances? Recession, depression, voter suppression. These are real conditions in our world. Where is the spiritual truth in these activities? The spiritual truth is in all of that she offers. Spirit is everywhere present. Spirit awaits our call. Spirit awaits our bidding. She says, I am not the pandemic. I am not police brutality. I am not the protest. I am not the homeless. I am not living in poverty. I am not discrimination. I am not recession, depression, or voter suppression. Or am I? As long as any human being lives with these conditions, I too experience them. See, this is why it's so important that we understand that trained thought is far more powerful than untrained thought. Because for the untrained thinker, it looks like you're that, I'm this. They're that, I'm this. They don't understand yet, like the trained thought that reveals that there's only one of us. That there is only one. If I believe in oneness, she says, Tracy Brown says, it can be no other way. If there is only one source of life, and that source has created me, and it has, then I am related to every form of life it creates. We understand that in genetics. If it's your mama, every baby your mama had is kin to you. I'm connected to the line of every other human being in universal mind and in the sharing of this earth. She reminds us again that spirit is everywhere present. Spirit awaits our call. Spirit awaits our bidding. And she closes it by saying, today I remember the life of the one is in the life of each person. I respect all citizens of all nations. See, that's trained thought. Because if you're working with untrained thoughts, you got some grievances with people you never met. Countries you can't even pronounce the name of. People you don't have any sense of their being, but you got something against them. I renew my connection to all humanity. I represent the heart of God. I'm going to invite y'all to say that too. I represent the heart of God. And you see, for the one who believes that, they're going to have to straighten up. They know that right away. Some of y'all didn't say it because you don't want to take responsibility for that. If I represent the heart of God, that requires that I love me. That requires that I forgive me. That requires that I plant the seed, that I be a part of whatever is required for the harvest for the world. That's not outside of the realm of what we're capable of doing. If we can send people to the moon and drones and AI, we can create a harvest for the world. Driverless cars, really? But we can't do a harvest for the world? No, I disagree. This we can do. But here's the thing. We have to see, as Tracy says in her affirmation, We have to see our life. I have to see my life as a part of all life. I have to know that I am both me, even as I am a part of we. I have to know that we are one. I got to know that we are one. You know, I'm an old school girl. They're just there's that music that makes it so clear to me. And so we're going to invoke a little Frankie Beverly and Mays to remind ourselves that we are one no matter what we do. This is important because when we don't feel that we deserve the good that we are praying about, affirming, then we don't do what's required in order to call that forth. So for now, I'm asking that we move as close as we possibly can to getting that we are one no matter what we do. To getting that love will see us through. And to know that whether we like it or not, we are one. That's just the way it is. We are one.
Can't understand why we treat each other this way. Taking the time with the silly, silly games we play. Oh, we've got our love, and no matter how it's said and done, oh, we are one. No matter what we do, we are one. The love will see us through, we are one. And that's the way it is, we are one. Sometimes I feel that we try and make each other sad. Oh, the things we do, how we make each other feel so bad. Oh, we've got so much, we could all be having so much fun. Oh, we are one. Right from the very start. Deep down in your heart, we are one. And that's the way it is, we are one. Oh. Sometimes I feel that we try to make each other say, oh, the things we do, how we make each other feel so bad, so bad. We've got so much, we could all be having so much fun.
Thank you, Solas, Burke-Lalgee, for that reminder that we indeed are one. And thank you, Reverend Andriette, for reminding us that at Heart and Soul Center of Light, we're training ourselves to think in ways that are in alignment with the kind of world, the kind of outcomes that we count on being made manifest in the world. We are counting on the babies being fed. We're counting on our elders being housed. We're counting on families being kept together. And we're committed to the manifestation of this world that works for everyone. And you can help at Heart and Soul Center of Light through your gracious giving. And you can invoke that giving by sending a check to Heart and Soul Center of Light, 1001 42nd Street, Suite 100, Oakland, California, 94609. You can also give online to heartsoulcenter.org/give. And while you're giving online, you can set up your gift as a one-time gift or as a recurring gift. And last but not least, you can give by texting the word give to 510-500-5849. However you decide to give is absolutely perfect. And it's also important for us to know that we want to bless our gift before it's given, thereby establishing the good that our gift will do in the world. So wherever you are in the world, I invite you to take your gift in hand, place it over your heart, or otherwise just place your hand over your heart, and let us say our blessing together. I bless this gift as healing energy and send it into the divine flow of all good. Infinite prosperity circulates through me, through my church, and throughout the world, because I know God as source, and so it is.
Thank you, Tammy and Daria. Thank you, Solas. What a blessing. Thank you, Reverend Andriette. What an opportunity we have had today, family, to remember that we are one and to remember that it is our responsibility to make sure that our fellow humans are cared for. I want to remind you that our Year of Miracles review happening tomorrow. Make sure that you sign up. Once you sign up once, you get a reminder for every time we're having it. So make sure that you give a sign up. We are deeply diving into a Year of Miracles with our practitioner, and it is supporting our continued evolution. Week 6 of virtual summer school happens on Wednesday, beginning at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time, and it is a good time, y'all. We still need you to register so that you can get the information, but you can do that by visiting our website. Tammy Hall is live on Facebook on Thursdays from 6 to 8 p.m. Pacific time. Make sure that you are supporting her. On Saturday, we have our Point of Power, our POP, 10 a.m. on Facebook, YouTube, our various podcasts. You can find it. Make sure that you are liking, sharing it, and telling your friends. If you have the interest of becoming a member of Heart and Soul Center of Light, your opportunity is upon us. Saturday, September 26th, 9 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. Pacific time. Make sure that you register by visiting our website. We're making sure that we support Marcus Books with their 60th anniversary fundraiser as the oldest independently owned Black bookstore in the country. Make sure you visit GoFundMe to support them. And we're supporting Kingston 11 Jamaican Cuisine for takeout or pickup at kingston11eats.com. The Pulse meets at 11:30 Pacific time on Sundays. In order for your team to participate, you can have them or you yourself can send an email to thepulse@heartsoulcenter.org. Our littles, Youth and Family Village, ages 4 to 12, is doing fun and meaningful videos, but we're asking families to watch and participate and give feedback about what they would like to see for their littles. You can send your suggestions and any sort of questions you may have to yfv@heartsoulcenter.org. And we invite you to spend some time with your child watching the videos we have available at heartsoulcenter.org/watchyfv. Prayer will be happening just after the end of service today, and we invite you to avail yourself to group prayer as well as Wednesdays at 7 a.m. Pacific time. The same number is available. All of this information, as with everything, is available on our website. Our Imagining Justice ministry would like to remind you that your vote matters, remind you to be an educated voter and to vote responsibly, and to ensure that you are registered to vote, that you're informed about key voting information. Voter suppression is a thing still in this country, family, so make sure that you are know that you are properly registered to vote. We are envisioning, empowering, and protecting the vote as we are all about 2020 and 2020. So make sure you visit your government or state's voting registration sources for more information. And this is my opportunity to welcome back our beloved Reverend Andriette.
Thank you, Sonia. I'm thinking about the answer to the expanded answer to the question that the Isley brothers posed. When will there be a harvest for the world? When we vote, when we run for office, when we represent, when we live in a consciousness that makes it safe and inclusive for everyone. That's when we'll have a harvest for the world, but it's going to begin with our awareness. I know some of us are trusting that the last time we voted, we got it all straight, just for drill. You know, just humor us here at Heart and Soul and go ahead and activate the links to just verify that your voter status, that you are in good shape and you know exactly where you are and you're all set up in whatever way you intend to. Your vote matters. I'm not, none of us is equipped to tell another how to vote, but I will tell you to vote. So get busy doing whatever is required to ensure that that's good. I want to just give thanks for all of you being here. I don't take it lightly at all that you stopped doing whatever it was you were up to long enough to give Heart and Soul some of your focused attention and also to share your time, certainly, and your treasure. I want you to know how grateful I am for that. A special shout out to Boston, to New York City, to Denver, to Jersey City, New Jersey, to Seattle, Washington, to Jaco, Costa Rica, and to the beautiful Cordoba, España, in Rio, Brazil, Sao Paulo, Brazil, Paris, France, Lansing, Michigan, Jackson, Mississippi, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and certainly those of you who fan the flame in the greater Bay Area for our being. Thank you so very, very much. I'm wanting to have us end in prayer as we usually do, but today I want to do it a little different. In that, I'm going to draw from A Year of Miracles, Marianne Williamson's work that we're using as our daily read. I shared with you her narrative from today. I'm going to share a little bit of her prayer that's at the end, but I'm also going to share with you the deservability prayer that Heart and Soul has been using, certainly in our summer school as we are committing to our shortcut to a miracle. And so what I know is that there are many of us who doubt ourselves and our deservability, that we have a lesser sense of the divine that we are, and that is expressing through us according to our willingness to allow that to be. And so as I read these pieces, allow my voice to resonate in your spirit as your own heart's urging. Marianne Williamson offers this. I place my grievances in the hands of God and pray for deliverance beyond my attachment to bitter wounds. I let go of my grasping at what I cannot change, and I pray for a miracle to release me from my pain. I surrender all thoughts of judgment and revenge, that I might now be free. and for the deservability prayer. First of all, I stand knowing that there is one life, and that life is the divine, the living one, the strong one. And I know that I am living the life of the living one, the strong one. I know that the living one, the strong one, is living me. And I know that this is true for all of us, that all of us are living the life of the strong one, the living one, even as the living one, the strong one, are living each and every one of us. It's the source of our living. And so it is in that awareness that I declare I am deserving. I deserve all good, not some, not a little bit, but all good. I now move past all negative, restricting thoughts. I release and let go any limitations held by my parents, my ancestors, my family, or my friends. I love them, I bless them, and I go beyond their negative opinions and limiting beliefs. I am not bound by any of these fears or prejudices of the current society I live in. I no longer identify with any limitation of any kind. In my mind, I have total freedom. I now move into a new space of consciousness where I am willing to see myself differently. I am willing to create new thoughts about myself and my life. My new thinking becomes new experiences. Praise God. I now know and affirm that I am one with the prospering power of the universe. As such, I now prosper in a number of ways. The totality of possibilities lie before me. It's the harvest of the world. I deserve good, a good life. I deserve love, an abundance of love. I deserve good health. I deserve to live comfortably and to prosper. I deserve joy and happiness. I deserve freedom to be all I can be. I deserve more than that. I deserve all good. I deserve a harvest for the world. The universe is more than willing to manifest my new beliefs. And I accept this abundant life with joy, pleasure, and gratitude, for I am deserving. I accept it. I know it to be true. I claim it. I allow it to be. And knowing that this is true for me and for all of us, I release this word into the perfect activity of law. I turbocharge it into the love that I know the law is. I let it be, knowing that it's done and done well in the divine. And I seal it for all eternity by simply saying, Ashe, Amen, and so it is. I pray that you've stayed with us till this moment, because there is a magnificent video by the Jazz Mafia that I want you to see, and it includes the voice and image of Solas Lalgee.